Dobar dan gledalci, dobrodošli u novi nastavak našeg školskog podcasta NKG-a. Danas imamo jednog jako posebnog gosta. Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm good and happy feast day of Our Lady, and to all of you, hello and good day.
I just want to say on behalf of everyone on the team, we are very happy to have you here. And, well, we should get started.
Sure.
Please introduce yourself.
I'm Dr. Dave de la Cruz, OP. I'm the Vice Postulator of Blessed Ivana Merza in the Philippines. And I'm here in Zagreb visiting to celebrate with you all Catholic Croats the centenary of Blessed Ivana Merza's doctorate. And recently, during the first days of December, we had a symposium on the Catholic Action and the Eagles, where Blessed Ivan was the founder of these two organizations, and I took part in sharing the influence of Blessed Ivan Merza in the Filipino Catholics.
Thank you. This segment of our podcast is about people who were inspired by Blessed Ivan Merza. Could you tell us, how did you find out about him?
Well, in 2005, we had this assignment in our school of liturgy where I studied, and it was under the direction of Father Chupunco, who is the former rector of the Pontificio Instituto Liturgico in Rome, and he assigned us to find saints connected with the liturgy. And I researched the internet during those times, and the first name that appeared to my monitor was Ivan Merz. And from there, I tried to contact the postulation and the postulator here in Zagreb, and met Father Božidaru Nagyju to have this, more detailed information of Blessed Ivan Merz. And from then, he invited me to come to Croatia, and I did in 2007, and this is my second time. And since 2007, the promotion of Blessed Ivan Merza in the Philippines started, and until now it's growing in the Philippines.
And what made Ivan Merza so special to you?
Well, for me, I am surprised that a lay person like us, can do something more for the church in our chosen profession, in our chosen vocation. So, Blessed Ivan is teaching us that you don't need to be, a superhero or a superman to do something, for God and for others. By becoming, dedicated, committed into your chosen profession, work, status in life, maybe, of course, in applying, the Catholic faith, the devotions, loving the Eucharist, going to confession. Blessed even teaches us that holiness is very possible even for young people if we will do ordinary things with extraordinary love.
And you said you were in Croatia the last time, 16 years ago, in
Yes.
2007. How much did it change since then?
To be honest, I was surprised because during that time the tram is still, the old tram, and the buildings are still old. But now with the modern Zagreb, I'm very happy to see this kind of changes. That Zagreb is becoming more modern. But of course, I'm surprised also with the other young people that they become more, westernized, and more on the, we call it a little bit sexual revolution, that they're becoming more focused on themselves. But that is the trend of our situation, of our world right now. And I believe that this is, other than looking at it as a disadvantage, this is already a opportunity for us, no, to lead them more back to the beauty of being Catholic, being a Christian, and becoming, a good person.
How long were you in Croatia during your visit in 2007?
If I'm not mistaken, around 4 or 5 days.
And now you were here for 10 days,
I think
correct?
for 10 days, yeah.
So have you met any, or you have obviously met lay believers, but have you met many of them?
Yeah, I met different people, no, and also other Filipino in the restaurants and other establishment that I've been with.
How are the lay believers in Croatia different than those in the Philippines?
Well, to be honest, we have more similarities than differences. No, for example, with our love for the church, love for our faith, love for the family, but Croatian is more expressive. Filipinos that are especially with the young, they're a little bit shy in applying their Catholic faith. But of course, at the same time, it is our family. Becomes our own identity here with Filipinos and Croats.
You held a lesson here in Zagreb a few days ago, and you talked about Blessed Ivana Merza, of course, but you talked about how Christianity came to the Philippines. So could you please tell us more about that?
502, if I'm not mistaken, years ago, Ferdinand Magellan was famous in his circumnavigation, or the first circumnavigation in the world. Uh, and visited or landed in the Philippines, which he first called Archipelago de San Lazaro, because it was on a Lazarus Sunday that we were discovered. And Magellan brought three important elements of this exploration: God, gold, and glory. So God is on the faith of the Catholic Church. Of course, gold is to find the spices and other resources for the King of Spain, and the glory of the crown of Spain during the time of King Charles V of the Holy Roman Empire. And Magellan was so successful in bringing the Catholic faith in our country by planting the first cross, giving us the oldest image of the child Jesus, like the infant Jesus in Prague. And the priest during those time, Father Pedro Valderrama, made the first recorded baptism in our country through Raha Humabon and his wife Juana. And this is the what we have celebrated 2 years ago. That the 500 years of Christianity began because of the acceptance of our ancestors with the Catholic faith. And from there, we are very thankful that the Augustinians, the Jesuits, the Dominicans, the Franciscans, came into the Philippines, not only as missionaries but also as nation builders of our country.
So it was brought to the Philippines 500 years ago. How has the faith changed from then, and how different is it? What's it like being a Catholic in the Philippines?
Well, when I was still young, I can still remember how Filipinos are so expressive in their Catholic faith. Well, of course, until now they're very expressive. Believe it or not, we have this Christmas tradition of simbang gabi, meaning it's a dawn masses. We wake up at around 3 o'clock in the morning to attend the 4 o'clock masses, and church will be very full of people for the 9 mornings, before Christmas. And Holy Week, Paschal Triduum, we have so many processions that people really flock to this kind of celebration. So the Catholics in the Philippines are still in love with their faith. But sadly, little by little, people are, not practicing anymore the Catholic faith. So we have a large number of marriages outside the Catholic Church. We have so many young people now doesn't go to mass every Sunday, or do not go to confession. So the baptism is increasing, but the practicing is declining. So the practicing Catholics are going down the numbers, and it's maybe because of modernization, sexual revolution, and other moral issues that we really need to face in our country.
And how are young people handling it? How many of them are still with the faith, with the church? Is practicing religion popular there for young people, or is it going more down?
You will be surprised that in the churches in the Philippines, there are still many young people volunteering, becoming leaders of the community. But those are only little percentage of the population of a community with other Filipinos. That is why I'm very impressed in the Philippine church that young people are going out to the streets, doing what we call basic ecclesial communities, meaning We are celebrating street masses. We bring the images of the Blessed Virgin Mary, in different houses, etc. And here comes the Blessed Ivan Merz family that we enrich, we supplement to this kind of work of saving young people and inviting them back to the church. So I hope that with the little number of these young leaders, they will still invite more youth, into the Catholic Church.
When we're talking about young people, last month was Men's Mental Health Month, and I wanted to ask you, how's the situation with young, not just young Catholics, so young men who are Catholics in the Philippines, but with all young men, are they struggling a lot with their mental health? How are they doing? Is it really different from here? Or?
The mental health issues and in the Philippines is growing. Maybe because of the social media awareness, young people are getting to know themselves better. Sadly, the suicide attempts or suicide victims in the Philippines are growing. So how do we deal this? Of course, as during the pandemic, the Blessed Ivan Merz family and I is so strong in promoting mental health awareness and mental health care by giving them counseling, spiritual direction, psycho-spiritual assistance, so that at least little by little we lessen the growing percentage of mental health issues in our young people. It causes, dilemmas, many families that they said that, oh, it's okay to have mental health, you just pray and pray and pray. We do not belittle in prayer, okay? And during those times, especially during the pandemic, we are always telling parents, teachers, and other lay leaders that mental health is a reality that we really need to face and to take seriously. So by giving them, opportunities to speak, to share their stories, to share what they're undergoing through, and hopefully, with our presence, with our, being there at their side, will be a big help in their mental health issue. And honestly, I've been through depression, and maybe that is God's way for me to experience what these people are experiencing with. So if I had this difficulty of going out of this depression, and people helped me, I prayed, yes, but I underwent also professional treatment. I'm still here. So awareness is the best cure, for this kind of
Yes.
situation.
Well, do you have any advice for anyone who's maybe struggling and watching this?
Well, if those who are struggling in their mental health, there's nothing wrong to share. Always share your story. Always share what you're undergoing through. And if people talking to you or people is asking for your help, please do not hesitate, to listen, to lend this listening ear. They need some people who can listen to their stories, and from there, we will help them little by little. But the best help that we can give is to be with them, to pray with them, and to journey with them, understanding their situation, not judging them.
Let's talk a little more about Blessed Ivan Merz. Do you think that he will become a more popular figure over the years in the Philippines? That also, could you explain how the people who know about him now in the Philippines, how they pay their respects to him and how he's talked about in the Philippines?
Yeah. For 20 years, Blessed Ivan, we really work hard to promote Blessed Ivan Merz. It's not easy because he's a foreign from 6,000 miles away from Croatia. Here comes the Filipinos, and who is this Blessed Ivan Merz? But you know our what we did in promoting Blessed Ivan is not only putting his picture somewhere or giving pictures or telling, oh, this is Blessed Ivan, you pray. No, what we did is first we let them experience Blessed Ivan. How? We feed the hungry, we feed the poor, We send poor young people into schools. We help those who are sick. We help those who are, undergoing mental health illnesses. And from there, we promote, or maybe if not promote, they will ask, why are you doing this? And our answer is this, because if Blessed Ivan is alive today, he will do the same. And then they will say, who is Blessed Ivan? So we will now tell the stories of Blessed Ivan. So that's how we make Blessed Ivan live until now in the Philippines. And Filipinos get to know him more through our different missions. Missions of charity, helping the poor, feeding the homeless, education, we give them free education, we send young people to schools for free, we give retreats, recollections, and then we have this, wonderful sanctification mission wherein we bring the relics of the saints. We have a chapel of Blessed Ivan Merza there where people can come and celebrate the Mass with us. So, through experience, we make Blessed Ivan present. And our volunteers now, we tell them, you are the new Ivans. You are the new Blessed Ivan in our home, in our school, in the work where you are right now. And you can only be like Blessed Ivan if, number one, you have a good attitude. You cannot be Blessed Ivan if you have bad attitude. No? Second, if you live your Christian life. So we always tell them, go to Mass, go to church, go to the sacrament of confession. Enjoy. It's not more on obligation. It's more on you enjoy it and receive this sacrament. But the third one is very important. And we tell them is we are family. Because some of our volunteers are either one of their parents are already dead, like their father, or some of them were left by their parents alone. So we became the family that they have nothing, that they did not experience. So that's why in the Philippines we call the group Blessed Ivan Merza as the Blessed Ivan Merza family, because that is what Blessed Ivan wants us to feel, that we are one family. And through that experience of family, then they will get to know more Blessed Ivan, and I hope and someday that he will be more, get known by many Filipinos through that experience, that familial experience.
So the Blessed Ivan Merz family, how many members does it have and how spread out are you?
As of now, if we will be talking about the committed members, meaning those who already made their commitments, we are around 20.
Mm-hmm.
But with the members, meaning students from the Merz Institute, our parishioners, we are more or less 200
That's great.
around the Philippines. And we are still growing because we still have, more students to come. We have, devotees, unknown devotees. So I assume that this will really grow more if we will, experience them and let them experience this wonderful spiritual family.
So did you ever spread the word of Ivan Merz anywhere else than the Philippines, in any other countries?
Yes, in the U.S. when I was still a seminarian in California, Blessed Ivan Merza was introduced there. In Japan, in Taiwan when I was there, and wherever I go, I always bring Blessed Ivan, But not only bringing them and just give them, this is the prayer card of Blessed Ivan, get one. No, it's more on experience. Listening to them, talking to them, making friends with them. That's how Blessed Ivan is being promoted.
You said you were in seminary. How long were you there?
Well, just 2.5 years. After 5 years of working, I just want to had this seminary experience. That after that, I went back to the profession of becoming a teacher.
And what do you teach?
I teach theology, philosophy, social sciences, and education in the colleges in the Philippines.
Do you ever spread the word of Ivan Merz on your lessons?
Indirectly. You know why? Because the words of Blessed Ivan is not only his words, it's the word of the church. And if you will look at the writings of Blessed Ivan and of the teaching of the church, it's always coincide. And then I will always make Blessed Ivan, not as an example, but as a model of life. Meaning, they are surprised that how come, sir, that you wear like that or you are teaching us like this? Why you are so active? I said, because of Blessed Ivan. Who is she? Then I will tell the story. And they'll be surprised because sometimes during our prayer, I will always say, Blessed Ivan Merza, pray for us. Who is Blessed Ivan Merza? So, the question comes from them, not to me.
So did you get into teaching to spread his message more, or was that another reason?
Well, to be honest, they became interested. After the experience that they have with me as their teacher, experience will be the best way of promoting him. And I will just tell them, oh, you research and you report after that to me and what you have discovered. And they start praying to Blessed Ivan.
The Philippines weren't always under Spanish colonial possession. In the 19th century, they were conquered by America. So how did the faith in the Philippines change after the conquest?
Yeah, we are very happy when the Spaniards are there because we're purely Catholics. But when the Americans came, Protestants entered also. Of course, Americans are not purely Catholics, and here comes also the Japanese. And sadly, out of the 85, or let's say 90% Catholics in the Philippines, around 5% are Muslims and the 5% are non-Catholics. And they're growing. They're growing because of their, as what I'm telling you, experience, the encounter that they always do with the young people. So, and well, as what my second doctorate is teaching, that ecumenism is still the best way of, uniting the church. Hopefully, someday we will be again united as one church.
So do you think that's something that Ivan Merz would want, a union of the churches?
Yeah, I know that Blessed Ivan Merza really worked well to unite all people, to lead and educate people to Jesus. And ecumenism is just one way of the many ways of doing this.
So do you think that the secularization of the world, that trying to make everything, equal, trying to make all religions the same, and just is it poisoning our faith? Is it killing our church, or is it maybe doing something better to us, and we're becoming aware of it and spreading the word to other people that they should be not letting those messages into their heads?
Yeah, the word, ecumenism is somehow sometimes being corrupted because they are having this different perspective of one world, one church, one religion, that in globalization. But in ecumenism, it's more on respect, the respect of one's faith, of one's expression, but not to the point of inculcating, uh, pressuring or forcing one's faith to another. But of course, at the end of ecumenism, the very point of ecumenism is what inspires you. Are you inspired again to go back to the real Catholic faith or to the real church? It depends on the person. But what is important is you respect one religion or its other religion because we are not equal, but we are one family. We are united in doing the work of salvation.
So in the Philippines right now, current government, what is their stance on religion?
Yeah. We are very blessed that all of our government leaders are Catholics. But sadly, these Catholic government leaders removed the catechism in the public and government schools. They removed the crucifix wherever it is, government owned. And we were surprised with that. Now, is it because of the leadership or is it because of the person? I can say. But what is important is this. Even if this were removed by the government leaders or by the government institution, the Catholic faith and the Catholic Church will still try its very best in promoting the Catholic faith, not only with the symbols, but through our lives. That's why I will never forget one bishop told us that even if they remove everything, even the churches, but if your life is a witness or witnessing to the love, to the teachings of Jesus Christ and of the Catholic Church will still continue and will still live because the church is us. So I hope that uh, someday, if this will happen in the Catholic Church in the Philippines, the best way of becoming Catholic is more on how you live your faith, as what Blessed Ivan did.
So in Croatia right now we are dealing with a lot of non-Catholic politicians, and a lot of the young people are becoming more westernized. And do you have some advice maybe for young people in Croatia who are watching this to never give up on their faith or anything of the sorts?
The Catholic faith is so beautiful. If I will, I almost left the Catholic Church. You know, I almost left the Catholic. Well, I'm on the brink of leaving the Catholic Church. That's why I studied, my first doctorate in a non-Catholic seminary. For the reason of destroying the Catholic Church. But in the end, it let me get in love more, deepen my love more to the Catholic Church, because I said, this is we are the real church. We are the real, we have the real faith in Jesus Christ. But if they are undergoing, this kind of crisis in faith, that is normal. I always tell them it's normal if sometimes you get cold, in your faith, you feel blue in your faith. That's normal because we're still human persons. But the best way to appreciate faith is when you feel that something is lacking in your life. You may be happy, you may have all your friends, you may have all the riches in the world. But if you already feel that lacking in your life, that small dot, and that small dot is none other than God. And you can only experience God, you can only experience that wonderful uh, relationship with God through the church, because the church herself is a mother. And like our mothers, the church will teach us how to love properly God. It doesn't force us, but it teaches us. And every time young people come to me and say, how can we start going back to the church? Have the intention. Make the baby steps. Little by little. Don't do big steps. Little by little. And they are successful. That's why if you are around 20, 30s, yeah, you will experience it. But if you are already in your 35, 36, 30, you will see, oh, the church is important. And especially if you're growing old, in the
Yes.
Philippines, the more that you get old, the more that you get nearer to the church because you're getting nearer to God. If they will go to God.
Yes, we are currently in the Christmas season. It's the Advent, and I wanted to ask, were you ever in Croatia during this time? So did you go to the Advent? Did you walk through the city, just look at the lights?
Oh, yes, I saw all the beautiful Advent in Zagreb, and it feels like home. The Philippines, we celebrate Christmas and we start Christmas in September.
Really?
Yeah. September 1, you will see already Christmas decorations, Christmas songs. You will hear it already in the radios. That's how Christmas in the Philippines. And we will end it on Santo Niño. That is the third Sunday of January. That's how long Christmas celebration is in the Philippines. And being here in Zagreb is just like I feel at home. I feel at home.
The Advent a few years ago was probably the best in Europe. It was grand, it was glorious, it was amazing. And now every year it's getting smaller and smaller, and it's becoming less and less about the birth of Jesus Christ and less about Saint Nicholas and more about elves, nutcrackers, and Santa Claus. How do you feel about that?
Well, that is a reality that we need to accept, that commercialization is so powerful than Christianization. And the very best way to do that is to let the church and those good Catholics, show it, manifest it through their little ways, like posting, putting it in their homes or maybe in their social media. Let us be the one who promote, the real season, the real spirit of Advent, the real spirit of the Christmas season. That's why I remember that I told my during the Christmas during the feast of Saint Nicholas here in Zagreb, where I celebrated it. I posted the chocolate that is from Saint Nicholas, and I posted it in my Facebook and said, "What's that?" So the moment that they ask questions, I answer, and that is how we start promoting again, bringing it back in the commercial world.
In Croatia, you said it yourself, we celebrate Saint Nick's Day. We give gifts to children. In Spain, they do that on Three Kings Day. And do you have anything similar in the Philippines?
Yes, we do give gifts, especially during Christmas Day, December 25. But we also have, Christmas carols, and when you sing well or you dance with the Christmas carols, they will give you a small amount of money. But the best Christmas practice in the Philippines is after that dawn mass, as we call it, the simbang gabi, which we wake up at around 3 o'clock in the morning for 9 days. There, it is also called Misa de Aguinaldo. Misa de Aguinaldo is Aguinaldo means gift, because you will hopefully at the end of the mass or after the 9 days you will receive something, not maybe material, but the spiritual gift that you ask during that 9-day novena.
How do you feel about the arguments made against Christians that Christmas trees and just celebrating Christmas on December 25th is wrong and it's a pagan tradition or anything? Have you heard about that?
Yes, I have heard a lot of that. But, it's more on Christianization. Christmas tree must have this theology. For example, if we in the U.S., they have this blessing of Christmas tree. Is it that it's a pagan practice? Well, everything starts with that. And we need to put God in everything because He is Emmanuel, He is God with us. So you can bless the Christmas tree, because the Christmas tree symbolizes the tree of life, and that is Jesus Christ. So it's more on Christianization. We need to Christianize again everything and put, that's what Saint Pius said, that put everything again, restore again everything in Christ.
Do you have any last thoughts on this interview?
Yeah, I'm very happy to be with you here and to help the young people like you understand the beauty of our Christian faith, of Blessed Ivana Merza, our Philippine history, and at least a little bit of our sharing of our lives. So I hope and pray that all of you will also be Blessed Ivan in your family, in your school, and wherever you are. It's very happy, it's very fun to be a saint, to be a living saint. And sainthood is, it doesn't mean that you need, to levitate or to have the stigma of like Padre Pio. Sainthood is becoming good, having this good attitude, good behavior, but putting it with an intention of I do this because of God, because of my family, and because of me. So I hope all of us can be saints, and I hope to see all of you in heaven. Not later on, maybe a few years from now. See you in heaven.
So would you please, for the end, maybe pray us your favorite prayer in Filipino? I thought it would be interesting.
Sure. In the Philippines, or before every day, I always pray, Lord, ikaw na ang bahala. Meaning, Lord, take care of everything. But of course, that is a little bit, dramatic in the Filipino, because I'm putting everything in God's hand. So my prayer for all of you is, Lord, kayo na po ang bahala sa mga Croatian na nandito, sa mga Croats, sa kabataan Croats. And kayo na pong bahala na idalhin sila sa iyong puso. And my prayer is this, that all Croatians, all Croats, especially the young Croats, I entrust you to the Lord, and I put you in the heart of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
And I think again, I speak on behalf of everyone here and everyone on the team who wasn't able to come, that we are very happy to have you here, and we are very thankful for giving us your time and taking a little chunk out of your day to be here and talk with me.
Always. I thought that you were also Filipino because you look like a Filipino. Thank you very much. Salamat. Haba ng puno. Thank you very much.
Thank
did
you.
well.